first one we have today is from Daryl Williams, 6758. Serious question. Doesn't poking around someone's backyard put you at risk from dogs and potential confrontation by the homeowner? I live in the South and I know damn near everybody carry and always ready to protect their home. How do you handle that? Okay, Daryl, so first we're going to break this down in sections, okay? We're going to talk about the dogs first, and then we'll talk about the homeowners. As far as dogs are concerned, I have been in an area a time or two where the dogs were in the actual yard, but for the most part, they treat their dogs like family, like children. So the dogs most of the time are in the house. Those that are in the yard that I have run across, unless they were on the front porch, they were pretty much chained up somewhere around the house. But it doesn't matter because I make myself known. Most dogs are not going to try to silently creep up on you. A dog is going to do what a dog do, which is bark. So as soon as you start walking on to the property, most of the time a dog can hear you anyway. And they're going to start to bark. If they don't hear you, your courtesy knock will make them aware that you are there. Because you're supposed to do a courtesy knock. Now, I don't know now. I'm going to take that back because there may be some companies that don't even mention anything about a courtesy knock. So I'm not going to take it there and I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. But from my own experience, you are required to do a courtesy knock. So being that you have to do a courtesy knock, soon as you knock or ring that doorbell, if there is a dog anywhere around, whether in the house or outside, it is going to make itself known. So now you know a dog is on the premises. If I don't hear a dog, but no one answers, then I hang my tag on the door or my sticker on the door, and I start in the front just in case the homeowner is there and they just didn't want to answer. So when they sneak a peek out, they'll see me in the front yard taking images of their roof with my pod. I have my equipment with me. Clearly I'm there to do a job. There's been times that I went around the house and came back and went to go to the car, and my sticker that I put on the door was no longer there. It wasn't in the yard on the ground. It wasn't in the grass. It wasn't on the porch. It was gone. So that means that there's someone in the house, and they waited until I went around, opened the door, and got the sticker. So the dog, when I go around the back, if there is a doggy door, how many of you guys are familiar with the doggy door? The doggy door is there and it makes you aware that there may be a dog. The dog could have been asleep. The dog might have didn't hear your little light tap. So that means you just need to hurry up and do what you need to do and get from back there. Don't be back there lollygagging around and acting like you at home. When I come to the door, I tap, tap. I don't hear a sound. I don't hear a dog. I stick. I do my front. When I start walking around the edge of the house, I already have my camera ready in place, and all I got to do is just start pressing the button to snap the photos. When I come from back there, I'm wide open coming from back there. Not because I'm worried or afraid, but because I have other places to be. If I see an unexpected doggy door, all that does is put a little bit more fire up under my feet. But I have never encountered a loose dog. Ever. I have went to a location and the dog was in the front. But in this area, it was dogs in the front of the yard everywhere. Everywhere. I thought I had driven into another totally different city. I hadn't seen that around here. But there were dogs everywhere. The barking, you can hear it when you turn the block. And the gate to the home outside near the sidewalk was locked. So, of course, I wasn't going in anyway because I had a big dog. Now, as far as the homeowners, I have had one or two little light encounters with homeowners where they come out while I'm in the front. Now they want to know why I'm there, all that stuff. And I have shown a few of those on some little ride-alongs that I've done from way back in the day, and they are in my playlist as well. You can see it. And I have went to a home where no one answered the door, and I knew they were in there because I caught them slide peeking through the corner. So I knew they were there. I had traveled up in those hills. Up in those hills to get those pictures. I wasn't coming down without them. But you know, to each his own. So I went around the side, opened the gate, went in the back. And when they realized I was in the back, then they came out. I let them know why I was there and what I was doing. It wasn't a big thing because they could see I was working. But, you know, you'll run across those like that. And I'm here to tell you, this job is not for everybody. Because if you're going to let the fear that possibly somebody may come out and clown on you, stop you from doing a job, you need to find something else to do. Not you, Dara. I'm just saying overall. Anybody who's listening to me. If you are afraid to walk up on a property, because once again, let me say this. The property that you're going to, these homes, these properties belong to the bank. They do not belong to them. If you are a homeowner right now and you are living in a house, if that house is not paid off, you are not a homeowner. You are a home keeper. Y'all stop letting the words of the world have you all confused and combobulated and thinking you got something else going on that you don't got going on, okay? If you have not paid it off, it belongs to the bank. You don't believe me? Stop making that payment, okay? So with that being said, the bank, the finance company, wants you as an inspector to go to the location to actually take images. Why? Because they want to see the upkeep of their property. They want to check the surroundings of what belongs to them. You have every right to be at this location. If you were sent there through the insurance carrier, you have every right to be there to take these photos. Because the owner of this location wants to see what's going on. I hope that helped answer at least a little bit of that question for you, Dara. And Dara, you know what? You have asked me a couple of questions. I am so glad to have you here. I'm so glad to have you around. Thank you for watching and participating in my videos. Okay. So, the next one is Alamo State 19. Does this field inspection job require any licensing or certification? No, it does not. Though you may run across a company or two that may ask you if you have certification. But overall, you're not required to have certification. Now, if you want to advance to another level, as I mentioned before, and I have a video coming up later that is going to tell you about different types of certifications. If you are wanting to advance to a higher level, then yeah, you will be needing certification. These are different types of inspections that does not pertain to anything that we're doing. But as of just doing insurance field inspections, no, you do not. If you run across one or two, like I said, that does ask you if you are certified and you really want to work for them, then I suggest you go ahead and get your certification. At least you'll have it. And it also looks very good on a resume. Okay. So with that being said, I hope I answered that for you. I hope I answered that. Let's move on. Sure, Jim. I hope I said that right. She commented, how long do you spend doing paperwork? Filling out reports, phone calls, and logs. I'm starting to question if this is worth it due to the amount of time it seems to spend doing paperwork. Okay. Okay, that's that age-old question about the paperwork. All right, so let me tell you something. The paperwork does not take that long. So now, when you first start doing field inspections, and you first start having to fill out the papers, it's going to feel like it's taking you a long time. And the reason why it feels that way is because it's something that's new to you. You cannot relate to what you're seeing. You are having to make sure you do it right. And heaven forbid if the QC sent it back because you didn't answer the question correctly. So you have all of this new stuff going on. But once you get used to the paperwork and it becomes something that is repetitive and something that you do all the time, and you realize that through strategy you can get this stuff done, the paperwork stops becoming an issue. It is no longer an issue. And I don't know what to tell you as far as thinking that it's not worth it, because I don't know, on a regular 9-to-5 job, how much you make an hour? I don't know. It depends on how much you're already making. How much are you making now an hour? Base that off of whether you feel like the paperwork, phone calls is worth it. Because remember now, when you start doing something for yourself, when you start working for yourself and taking control of a whole situation, and you no longer have a corporate office somewhere handling everything, and the only thing you got to do is simply get up in the morning and show up at work. When you're handling it all yourself, you're going to be required to do everything yourself. You're still exchanging your time for money. So you're going to have to do everything yourself. The plus to this is there's no bosses and unwanted coworkers. There's no unwanted commute when you don't feel like commuting. All of those things are now a thing of the past. But you are in charge of everything. And when you're in charge of everything, you will be doing the reports. You will be the one making the calls. You will be the one sending out the emails. It is a part of what you're doing as an independent inspector. If you open the store front, until you can get a full-fledged slew of people working under you and get you some employees, you will be ordering the inventory. You will be dealing with the customers when they come in the door. You will be there to open it up in the morning. You will be there to close it at night. You will be the one counting the money and taking the money to the bank. You will be the one. And I've been to plenty of commercial buildings around here in commercial stores where the owner is the whole show. It is what it is if you decide that you're going to do things for yourself. I don't spend much time at all doing paperwork, depending on how much work I do. It depends on how much work you do in the day. If I head out of here and I do 5, 6, 7 inspections that day, then when I get home, I know I have 5, 6, 7 stacks of paperwork that I have to put in for what I did that day. But like I said, if the work is competitive, repetitive, and say that right, if the work is repetitive, then you get to a point to where you can pretty much do the paperwork with your eyes closed. And a lot of the questions, for those of you who don't know and you're new to the game, all of y'all in the back, most of the questions on the paperwork is observant questions. Questions that you need to answer based off what you saw, based off your area, based on where you are. It's a lot of observant questions. I haven't worked for a company yet that did not have observant questions. That means that you have a specific amount of questions that you absolutely have to ask the actual insured holder. You have a certain amount of questions that you have to ask them or you will not know the answer to. And then you have questions that you can find yourself if they don't know the answers to. And then the rest of the 70% of questions is based off clearly what you saw when you went to that location. So if you go into locations, if I'm going to locations and there's absolutely nothing wrong in that area, the location is clean, it's sniffy, there's nothing out of place, and the inspection was easy, then I know when I get home, all of those observing questions is like boom, 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 with my mouse. Boom, 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 boom. I already know the answers, and I proofread. If a lot of you who don't know how to do that, I suggest you look it up and figure out how to get it, how to do that. I can proofread and I know exactly what I'm looking, and I'm boom, 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 all the way down. Paperwork is not a problem, and you have to get used to doing the work by yourself. I hope that was able to help you out just a little bit. Okay, so we're going to go back to Daryl. Daryl, you have another question. Daryl Williams, 6758, applied to some companies on Wednesday. Heard back from 3 already. Doing questionnaires and scheduling interviews. Definitely nervous, but also excited. Thanks for your videos. Did not know about being able to negotiate fees. Well, you know what, Daryl? A lot of people were not aware of, but thank you, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. How they do it? Thank you. A lot of people were not aware of being able to negotiate fees. A lot of people are aware of being able to negotiate fees and just don't, because they don't know how to open their mouth and tell a person what they want. Or shall I say, it's harder for them to open their mouths and tell a person what they want. A lot of people are exactly like that. And that's okay. But eventually, you have to come out of your shell. Well, really, you don't. You can just continue to get what you're getting. If you're happy with it, if you like it, I love it. There's no issue. But I do want to make sure I say, for those who are probably going to ask, can you negotiate fees with all the companies? No. There are companies, plenty of them, because I've worked for a few of them. The price that they set is the price that they set. Well, the fee that they set, the amount of money that they're offering you per inspection is the amount of money that they're offering you per inspection. And it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. You're either going to work for them or you can keep it pushing. But you have some who, when you mention that you want to be paid a certain amount, they will oblige to you. They will oblige you, okay? They will do what you ask them. But then you have those who, as soon as you sign up, they ask you, what is your fee? What is the fee that you normally charge? And now the door is wide open for you to apply yourself. Now the door is open for you to be able to say, well, this is how much I want to make per inspection. Just make it make sense, okay? Do not negotiate no high, seriously out of whack amount for an inspection when you had never done that inspection before, and you know that from what you've heard pertaining to that type of inspection, that it is not going to take that much effort to get that inspection done, because they're going to be looking at the fee when it come across the email and like, he must be crazy. Okay, throw his file over here. And you'll never hear another word. Be reasonable about your fees, but know your worth. Your worth, and a lot of stuff plays into that. And if you're an inspector, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So know your worth. I'm sorry, y'all guys. I just popped my knuckles in the microphone. But know your worth, okay? But yeah, you can negotiate fees. And once again, Daryl, thank you so much. Auntie Dee. Sound like me. That's what my nieces call me, Auntie Dee. Auntie Dee. Hi, Miss D. I'm based in California and the Bay Area. I want to ask, do you set your own fees? Same thing. If so, how do I do that? I've been asked by a company. Okay, same thing. I've been asked by a company what my fees are, and I don't want to cheat myself. Just what I just told Daryl. Make sure that you know your worth. Make sure that you don't throw no outlandish amount out there. Have these people thinking you are crazy. And know what it's worth for you. How much would you pay someone to actually go out and do what you're doing? Think realistically. Think realistically. If you are already doing inspections, guys, and you know when you go out and do these inspections, what it takes to get it all done from the beginning to the end, how much would you actually be willing to pay someone? And then turn that around, make that your fee. Or if you are familiar with the work and you know already what some people probably make or what another company has probably paid you for something, and use that as your blueprint to what you're going to tell them you want your fee to be. But I can tell you that if your fee is way over what they pay, you may shoot yourself in the foot. Okay? So be very mindful of that when you are applying your fees with these people, okay? Because they will just cut it loose and not deal with you. One of the good things about setting fees is that most times when you're able to set a fee, you know offhand, because the company's going to ask you what is your fee. Most times if a company don't ask you what your fee is, it's because they don't care what you think your fee is. But also, if you are attempting to do field inspections and you know that the job you've been working every day, you know it's been a struggle, and you know you ain't making but pennies on the dollar per hour. Don't y'all come up and over here go to run around trying to tell somebody that you ain't gonna do an inspection less than $200. Like, who you think you is? Like, at the end of the day, come on now. Come on now. You are really, really, really pushing it. And I have to say that, I'm sorry, I'm trying to step on no toes, but I just stepped on somebody's toe, and at the end of the day, I don't care. Because if you guys are really thinking that you are going to, you've just reached a pot of gold in this, there's something wrong. There's something really wrong. Everybody starts somewhere. Everybody's not going to make the same amount of money. Everybody's not going to make the same amount of money for the same company. They're just not. You have somebody who's probably going to be doing the same work you're doing, working for the same company that you're working for. It may be making $25, $30 more than what you are being paid for that company. How is that possible? Because they may have more skill than you. They may be more of a people person than you. They might have asked for a higher fee and you never asked for one. It's a lot of different things that could play in on this. They may be a great worker. So when they asked for a fee later down the line, they gave it to them. And you could be slacking. So when you asked for one, they told you they couldn't. It's their choice. I hope that this has helped somebody out, because I was about to start preaching, and I know some of y'all be like, this girl be making me sick. You know what? There's a scroll if you don't like what I'm saying. I'm just here to bring you the real of what's going on here as a field inspector. It could be good, it could be bad, it can speed up, it can slow down, it can become overwhelming sometimes. Sometimes people will make you mad. You know, it can, all types of things can pop off, but it's all a part of doing something for yourself, no matter what it is, unless you're going to continue to get up every day and commute. Anything outside of that is going to require you, your patience, and your time. So with that being said, I hope you guys liked the video today. Y'all know what to do. Like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, because I'll be bringing you back something later. Thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.